Hello, welcome back to Tottenham Logic. Tottenham have got 4 points from their first two games of the season, a 1-1 draw of Leicester and a 4-0 battering of Everton. In my opinion, we needed to get maximum points from those games, so I'm a little bit disappointed. Wasn't disappointed with the first half against Leicester, but very disappointed with the second half because we should have took all the points. And the reason why it was imperative for us to get the 6 points was because these next 10 games are going to be very, very difficult. We've got 4 London derbies coming up, very hard away games, and a North London derby as well. So we really need to be on our game for these next 10 games because we could seriously drop down the table if we're not on it. Also, in between, we have League Cup games and we have Europa League games as well on top of that. So this is really going to stretch the squad. Today in this video, I'm going to give you my predictions for the next 10 games. Obviously, the window isn't closed yet, so there could be still more signings. We could get another signing. Other teams could sign more players. And you never know what's going to happen in the season. After 3 games, we could be demolished with injuries like we were last season. And that could really derail our season. But as it stands, we've got a near enough fully fit squad. So I'm going to do my predictions based on that and just try and be as realistic as possible. I don't want us to be over realistic and just be, oh, we're going to win the league, and when we lose, oh, we're going to get relegated. I don't want to go to the extreme. So what I'm going to do is give you my honest predictions of the next 10 games to see how many points we can accrue, which is about 30 maximum. So let's see how many we can get in the next 30, and then we will see, because it's basically a third way through the season, we will see where we are after these 10 games and see, then we can start predicting more on what we're going to achieve this season. But before I get into my predictions, please smash that like button and please subscribe if you haven't already. So the first game is the dreaded Newcastle away. And the reason why I said the dreaded is because the last 2 years, Newcastle have battered us, absolutely battered us. I think Newcastle away 2 seasons ago was the worst ever performance I've ever seen watching Tottenham. Even when we finished 15th, I've never seen this that bad. They scored 5 goals within the first 20 minutes. I've never seen Spurs cave in like that before. It was disgusting. And then the season later, we had a new manager, which was Ange, and the same thing happened again, but just not so quick, conceding goal after goal after goal on the counter-attack. So this is why it's the dreaded away game. But we have a fully fit squad going into this game. Newcastle struggled against Bournemouth last week. They looked very vulnerable. I feel that we can get a result this time, and the memories of those 2 batterings might be on our minds when we play this game. I still think we're going to concede on the counter. They're very good at that. I still think it's going to be one of those games where we outscore them. So I think it's going to be 3-2 to Tottenham. So it's 3 points away to Newcastle. Next up, it's the London derby. North London derby, should I say, but we're at home. This is going to be played on the 15th of September at 2 o'clock. Tottenham are struggling lately against Arsenal home and away. It's going to be a very, very tough game. With our home advantage, if we've still got a fully fit squad and we play out of our skins, for me, Arsenal are probably going to be my favourites to win the Premier League. And I hate saying that. I'm sorry, I apologise. But I've got this really bad feeling they're going to win the league this year and they're going to get towards 100 points. They don't look like letting in goals, let alone dropping points. So it's going to be a very, very difficult game. If we're at our best, I can see us getting a draw. And I'm going to go for 2-2. So next up, potential banana skin against Brentford. And the reason why I say this, and this is going to be played on the 21st of September, 3 o'clock kickoff. The reason why I say this could be a banana skin is because I think Brentford are so good on the counter with Wissa, Tony, Mbweni. I can't say his name, but them 3 up front are crazy good at counter-attacking. And that is our most vulnerable part. So this could be a potential banana skin. I'm going to go, we're at home. I'm going to say we concede 2, but I think it's going to be another 3-2 to Spurs. It's going to be one of those. It could go one way or the other. But I'm just going to put my neck out and say 3-2 to Tottenham. Next, we are away to Man United. And this is going to be played on the 29th of September at 4:30. Man United either play well or they play bad. There's no in between with these at the moment. Normally when they play Spurs, they turn up, which means we always end up dropping points. I think this season, the way it's going, I can honestly see at Old Trafford, it's going to be, I'm going to say a 2-2 draw here as well. I think we'll drop points here away to Man United and it'll be 2-2. If the bad Man United turns up, then we could win, but I'm going to go for a draw. Next, banana skin. Well, it doesn't seem like a banana skin anymore when you're away to Brighton. Brighton are a very, very good team. And the playing away to Brighton last time, I think we conceded 4 goals. It was 4-0 down before we knew it. We sort of came back into it, but not really. I think they just laid off, and that's why we got back into it. But I can see us losing this game to Brighton, and I'm going to say we're going to lose this 2-1. Brighton are a much better side than people give them credit for, and playing them away is always a difficult game. Next up, these are all league games, by the way. I haven't put the cup games in, but just so you know, the cup games are, the League Cup commences the 16th of September to the 23rd of September. And I think the Europa League starts on the 25th and 26th of September. So they're going to be in between, like the games of Brentford and Man United. So next up in the league, we have home to West Ham. West Ham have made some really, really strong signings and strengthened their team. So it's a 12:30 kickoff as well. So that's going to be a Saturday, I'm assuming. And I'm going to have to go for a draw again. So that's going to be, I'm going to say 1-1 against West Ham. We're going to drop points again at home. I just got that feeling West Ham are going to be very strong. And this again could be a game that we could lose. We need to be on our game, fully fit squad. I think we'll get a draw here. Next game, another London derby against Crystal Palace now. And this time we're away. A 2 o'clock kickoff on the 27th of October. This is another toughie. At the moment, Crystal Palace have started off very poorly under Glasner. Last year, they couldn't stop winning. This year, they can't win. So, depends if he gets them going. If he gets them going, this is going to be a very, very tough game. It also depends on if Eze stays there or not. If Eze ends up joining us, then it'll be a whole different ball game. But as it stands, I'm going to say we're going to get a draw in that too. I'm going to say 1-1. Next up, we have Villa at home. When we played Villa, both games, the one game we beat them 4-0. I think it was at their ground. We beat them 4-0. At home, we lost 2-1, but in the first half, we demolished them and just didn't put away our chances as usual. If we can play like that again, I think we can get the win. I'm going to say 3-2 Spurs, so we can get 3 points versus the Villa. Next up, we have a home game against Ipswich Town. That will be played on the 9th of November at 3 o'clock. I'm not sure how good Ipswich are going to be. They weren't too bad against Liverpool on the opening day, but because they're a new team coming up, we're at home. I'm going to give Tottenham the 3 points. I'm going to give us a 3-0 victory. Lastly, the 10th match out of these 10 is Manchester City away. Now, that I can only see Manchester City winning. I know we're a bit of their bogey team, but that's mainly at home. I can see this being a lot of goals in this. I'm going to say 4-2 City in this game. So let's go back and try and count the points that we're going to get in the next 10 games if I'm right. Hopefully I'm wrong and we get more than what I've said, because I'm trying to be as realistic as I can be. So Newcastle, I said we'd win. That's 3 points. Arsenal draw. That's 4 points. Did I say Brentford win? I said yes. So that's 7 points. Man United, 8 points. Brighton, we lost. So still on 8 points. West Ham, we drew. So it's 9 points. Crystal Palace was a draw. That's 10 points. Villa was a win. That's 13 points. Ipswich was a win. That's 16 points. And City was a loss. So if my predictions are right, we will get 16 points in the next 30 points out of a possible 30 points. Let me know in the comments if you think this will come true. Let me know if you think we'll get more than 16 or less than 16. and I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.